Welcome back to another episode of Beauty, Brains, and Business. I'm Dr. Carrie Yazid, your host, author of Lipstick Heels and Hustle, A Woman's Guide to Entrepreneurship. To order your copy, visit thebeautybrainsandbusiness.com. Special thanks goes out to today's show sponsor, Blessed in the Burbs, where it's cool to publicly love God, have faith, and be an inspiration to others without being judged. To learn more, check them out at blessedintheburbs.com. Again, that's blessedintheburbs.com. On today's show, we are going to be talking about the key to success. Notice I didn't say keys, I said key, because there's really just one key for every female entrepreneur to be successful, and we're going to talk about that today. So this is definitely one episode you don't want to miss. But before we get started, if you're looking to increase your brand's awareness, generate leads from an audience of over 70,000 listeners and viewers, Beauty, Brains, and Business is currently accepting new ad sponsors for the months of August and September. To learn more, send me an email at drcarrieyazid@gmail.com. Again, send me an email at drcarrieyazid@gmail.com. So let's go ahead and jump into today's show and let's discuss what is the key to success for female entrepreneurs. So I guess you are wondering, what is the key to success when it comes to female entrepreneurs? Because, I've always said this, and I talk about this in Lipstick Heels and Hustle, that entrepreneurship is different for men than it is for women. And so that means that our key to success is not going to be the same key that a man uses to unlock success. And so I want to talk about a recent study that Facebook did. I know, Facebook, right? But hey, we've got to admit it. Facebook has all of our information. So when we're going to talk about studies, they probably are the most reliable people when it comes to accuracy of information. Well, anyway, Facebook did a study that revealed that female founders, yes, women who start businesses, or if they are a part of a business community, guess what? They are twice as likely to be successful than those who are not. Yep. The key to success for female entrepreneurs is actually surrounding yourself with a group of like-minded female entrepreneurs, being a part of a business community that gets you, that understands what it is that you are going through. So I know you're probably sitting there and saying, okay, Dr. Carrie, I am an introvert. I don't have time to be bothered with people. I'm in my zone and I'm doing my own thing. Well, let me call you out real quick and let me bust that little bubble that you are living in. Entrepreneurship can be very lonely because, let's face it, we're usually working by ourselves. If we have a team, our team is usually virtual. We are all not gathered in the same place, sitting in the same office space or co-op working space or whatever. If you have a virtual assistant, they can be in Asia. Your IT person could be somewhere like in Chicago. Your social media person can be in California. Like, everyone is not in the same space. And so that means that you are technically working by yourself day in and day out. It's just you grinding and hustling and trying to make everything happen. And so when it's you by yourself as a sole individual, that means that you really don't have anyone to bounce your ideas off of. There's no one there to listen to your frustrations. More importantly, there is no one there that you can go to when you have a problem that will give you some honest feedback. There is no one there to support you, to encourage you, to cheer you on when you have had that win, no matter how big or how small it is. That's the reality of being an entrepreneur, is that we're in this usually 9 times out of 10, we're in this alone. And being a part of a community, and I can speak for myself, being a part of a community really changed the dynamics for me being an entrepreneur, because I knew that I had that sisterhood that I could go to and say, can y'all believe that this just happened to me? Or I could say, you know what, I'm really struggling with this. What do you all think? Like, can you give me some feedback? Or have you ever done this? And what were your outcomes and what were the final results? Or, hey, does anybody know a great virtual assistant? Can you give me a recommendation? Having a community that I could go to and access for when I needed support, when I needed somebody to be happy because I had gained a new client. Like, you don't realize how important those little things are until they're no longer there and it's just you. It's you day in and day out grinding with no one else. And so you might be saying, well, okay, Dr. Carey, like I have my husband and I have my family, I have my mom, my dad, I have the kids, I have my best friend. Let me tell you something. If none of those individuals are an entrepreneur, they do not understand what you are going through. They don't get it because they work a 9 to 5. So what you might see as being a major problem, they might be looking at like either A, they don't understand what you're talking about, so they're nodding and responding in all of the right places, or they understand what you're talking about, but they don't see it in the context of owning a business. They see it in the context of being an employee of the business. Again, the mindsets are going to be totally different. The way you approach a problem and the way someone who works a 9 to 5, be it your husband, your girlfriend, your mom, your next door neighbor, it's going to be different. And you usually walk away feeling more frustrated and disgusted, and you might feel like no one is supporting me, like no one gets me. And why do I even try? I know, I've been there. And so I know you might also be thinking like, well, Dr. Carey, there are really not that many female entrepreneurs out there, and hey, there are all these, everybody has a group these days. Everybody got a conference these days. It's just overkill. Well, I hate to bust your bubble again, but actually, there probably are not enough conferences that focus on entrepreneurship, and there are not enough networking groups and communities for female entrepreneurs. There's a lack, and I'm going to tell you why there's a lack. When I pulled up the statistics, did you know that in 2018, the United States had 12.3 million women-owned businesses? 12.3 million women in the United States of America own a business. Women of color account for 47% of all women-owned businesses. I hope y'all listen to these statistics. 47%. Women of color own 47% of women-owned businesses. And women of color employ 2.2 million people and generate $386 billion in revenue a year. So we have the numbers. Female entrepreneurs, we're out here and we're doing it. How are some of us doing it? Probably they have a network of like-minded women who are supporting them. To have numbers that high, those women aren't out there day in and day out by themselves, struggling, failing, and not understanding why they failed, and having a support system to pick them up and tell them, hey, girl, it's going to be okay. We need you to move forward. Like, we got you. This is going to be okay. Hey, you fail, but it's only failure if you don't get back up. So we have to keep that in mind. But you know what? When we talk about female entrepreneurs, when we have like a big surge in female entrepreneurship such as this, because these numbers have drastically increased from like 2007 and 2008, women have really become a dominant force in the entrepreneurial world or segment of business. Like they're stepping in and they're taking over. And so, well, we've got to look at that, but then we have to look at like, how are their needs being met? How are they sharing and how are they learning from other business owners? And when we look at the context of, the male dynamics of business, let's just be honest. Men are not inviting women to the table. They aren't. They aren't inviting us to the boys' club. They're not trying to play golf with us. They just don't think that we can compete. And again, if you go back and read Lipstick, Heels, and Hustle, you'll see where I say men and women function differently. Women come from an emotional place. And so in us coming from that emotional space, we need support. We can't make it unless we have the support, unless we have the nourishing from other women, unless we have that understanding from someone who gets what it is that we're going through. So women need the support. Women need a community that looks like them, that thinks like them, that makes actions like them, like, that's running a business like they are. Women need that more so than men do because we're wired differently. In a nutshell, men have support groups. Men have communities, and it's the Billionaire Boys Club. They're getting together. They're talking business. They're doing deals in the back room. They're supporting each other, but they're not inviting us. No matter how large we are growing in numbers in the United States, men are not inviting us to the table. And you know what my saying is. If they're not going to invite you to the table, you need to create your own table. If they're not going to invite us to their community, then we have to create our own communities. And that's what I did. So earlier this year, actually, let me backtrack. Last May, I started a mastermind, and I only had like 5 women, which for me was good. I didn't complain, and they were women who had went through some different programs that I offered, and we talked about like growing our business, held each other accountable, and it was great. And at some point last year, I had to end the group because one of my kids took sick, and I realized like, let me pull back for a second and regroup. And so when I regrouped, I came back and I started Beauty Brains in Business, and basically took the concept that I had in the beginning and expanded it and began to offer even more services. And so in that, the membership grew. And I really got to see what it looked like to have a community of women from diverse backgrounds who were business owners, like they were coaches and consultants and doctors and nurses. And oh my goodness, I've had someone who makes cupcakes, like you name it. We have had them as a part of of our community, and just watching them grow and help each other to grow and not letting each other fall, or when someone fails, checking in on them and saying, how are you? How are things going? And giving each other the support that they need. And so watching that group really grow and expand over the last year has just really been phenomenal. But it helped me to understand the statistics from the survey that Facebook did, that when women are surrounded by like-minded women, when women receive the support that they need, their chances of being successful doubles. It doubles. So they've got double the chance of getting where they're trying to go than the female entrepreneur who's sitting at home trying to figure it all out on her own with no support. She's getting frustrated, and nobody understands her. Husband doesn't understand. Mom doesn't understand. Kids don't understand. Her best friend doesn't understand. And she's just trying to wing it. And and I understand people being introverts and not being, I've heard like, I'm not a people person. Or I've also heard, I'm not a group person. I'm an individual person. Look at here. You cannot be a business owner if you don't like people. as a business owner, we have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to learn how to interact with other human beings. And it all can't be done behind a keyboard. Like, you've got to go into the spaces of other people. You've got to learn how to network, because that's the only way you get to the next level. If you think you're just going to get to the next level via social media, you got a rude awakening. It is not going to happen that way. And I don't care what they say on Facebook or what they're saying on Instagram or wherever else social media platform that you're on. You got to remember that a lot of these people who are feeding you all of this stuff, well, that's their hustle. That's what they're trying to do. Hey, quote unquote, that's their business. That's their business, is to feed you the fluff and tell you, like, hey, it's going to be okay. Entrepreneurship is this. They're selling empowerment, but they're not selling you skills. They're not selling you knowledge. They're not selling you opportunities. They're not selling you, how to get out there and make these connections with women who look like you and who think like you and who could probably open some doors for you. Being a part of a network can not only boost your success rate, but guess what? Being a part of a network can also boost your self-confidence. And again, you need that confidence when you're going out into the world and you're trying to sell people on what it is that you do. Being a part of a network also gives you inspiration. It gives you the support that you need. And you also can get the advice that you need. So I guess now you can really see why this is so important, why being a part of a community of like-minded female entrepreneurs is really your key to success, because it's everything that you need. It's the confidence that you're going to need, the inspiration you're going to need, the support you're going to need, but also the knowledge and the skills and the opportunities. They're all in one location. Where we fail is that we go all over the place looking for opportunities and trying to piece it all together, and I often laugh about the people who have the binder filled with all of the free information because they went to this free webinar, that free webinar, this free conference. Everything is free and they put it in a binder, but they don't know what to do with it past the binder. They don't know what to do with it past the empowerment and the inspiration that they've gotten in these spaces. And when you join a network of like-minded individuals, of like-minded entrepreneurs, they can show you how to take that information and connect it and how to get you to the next level. Like, they can come together and help you to connect the pieces. The other great thing about having a network is that they're there 24/7. You can go into the group probably and access them and ask a question, and somebody's going to answer. I can tell you that, especially with the group that I run. Like, if I don't answer the question, one of the other ladies in the group, they're going to happily step up to the plate. And what I have found from those experiences is that when the women step up and help each other, they are also showing us what their area of expertise is. They're showing us what their skill set is. And so we often remember them when we're out in the community and we hear people looking for certain individuals to do certain jobs. The first people that we think about are the women in our network, the women that are a part of the Beauty Brains in Business network. We think about them and we're referring them to people. And it's not that they asked us to, but we remember what their skill set is. We remember the information that they shared with one question in a group. And so no matter how small you might think those interactions are, they're really, really relevant, and they can take you a long, long way. Because what that does is, you are in that moment when you're answering a question, when you're helping someone to get to the next level, you are showcasing your business, but you're also exposing your business for new opportunities. So all I can tell you this is that, I have just seen phenomenal things take place over the last year with the Beauty Brains in Business Network. I have seen, we have highlighted women that may have otherwise been overlooked by society. We've been able to come in and highlight them in the community. We've helped them to get through those like rough spots that they are having, and just really giving them a space like to share their ideas, to bounce things off of the other women in the group. And it's a different feeling. It is a feeling of belonging. It is a feeling of sisterhood, and it really is a sisterhood. And more so than anything else, the other thing that I've seen is that these women have become friends, genuine friends. They connect. They realize that they live like, a couple of minutes away from each other, and they connect. They go, they have coffee, and now we have a budding friendship. And so the Beauty Brains and Business Network has really transformed the lives of so many women in a short amount of time, because I don't think a year is really that long, a long period of time. But to see the transformations that I have seen take place in this space, in this time period, has been phenomenal. And when I was developing the group, I never thought that it would get to this, that the group would actually be impacting women's lives on that level, on the level that it really is, and that their success rate would just be going like through the roof. So all I can say is great things about it. But yes, I'm supposed to say great things because it's my group. But no, I'm being honest that I have watched these women come in frustrated. They don't know their head from their toe. They have been ripped off by people, and it's just like, I don't know what to do next. They are in tears, and they come to us vulnerable, but they're transparent and they're open, and they allow us to pour into them and to help them get to where it is they're trying to go, that we become their crutch. We give them the shoulder that they need to lean on. Again, we're cheering for them. We're like, come on, girl, you can do this. You cannot give up. We are not going to let you give up. Or we're checking in and saying, hey, did you take care of X, Y, and Z? Like, we're there and we're on top of it. The other great thing about the network is that if you cannot afford to work with a business coach and pay like $1,400 or $2,000 to work with a business coach, you have access to a business coach, which is me, when you join the Beauty Brains and Business Network. So I'm answering questions in the group. I'm also bringing in experts to conduct webinars, live classes. We're also going to be incorporating more live events, so really figuring out the dynamics of where our group members live and going into those spaces and having live events where they can bring their friends and their supporters, and we can learn and grow. And my goal is between 2017 and 2018, I worked with over 500 women. In some capacity, I work with over 500 women, helping them to build and grow an aspect of their business or to just get started. And so my goal for 2019, 2020 is to double that. So if I could do 500 in that time span, now my goal is to help 1,000 women to get where it is that they're trying to go between 2019 and 2020. I understand the dynamics of my listeners. I understand the dynamics of my audience. A lot of my female followers, a lot of the females in my audience, they have good paying jobs, but there is no husband. There is no support. I have a lot of single parents. And so this time around, I said, I want to make this affordable for them. And so to join is free. You can join, try it out for free, FREE. Tracks so you can cancel at any time. You have immediate access to the Learning Library, which is filled with webinars that we have done in the past. And these webinars are really like the building blocks that every entrepreneur needs to help her to get started. So they cover everything from taxes, insurance, trademarks, how to have a sustainable business, sales funnel. So Learning Library filled with videos that you can watch at your own leisure. Again, as I stated, bringing in entrepreneurs, experts in business who will be doing live training. So they're going to be doing live webinars where the members can interact with them. The members can ask them questions. And these are my friends in business. And so they are doing this, again, to network with other like-minded entrepreneurs, but to share their knowledge and their skills with you so that you can pass it on to others. So you're getting opportunities like that. Again, you get the exclusive private community where you can come in, network, ask questions, share your wins with everybody, and we all can get excited for you. We've got that going on. It is just a dynamic space that in 2019, 2020, my goal is to make it bigger and to make it better. Offering the participants discounts for live events, so conferences, summits, all of those things, they're going to get discounts in addition to discounts on apparel. Yes, Beauty Brains and Business, y'all. We doing some big things in 2019, especially in the second half of 2019. So we're going to be having some apparel that's coming out. These ladies will get discounts on that as well. But again, it is a community of like-minded women who their common interest is that they are business owners. They are the founders of a small business, and they are looking to connect with other incredible entrepreneurs. They are looking to link up with them, share professional opportunities, and like I said, even sometimes develop a friendship. Honey, you never know what's going to come out of this group. So if you have found yourself, over the last couple of months, just really feeling frustrated because it seems like things aren't going right, no one is listening to you. If you found yourself just feeling defeated and wanting to give up, if you have found yourself just being lonely and not having anyone to talk to, I want you to consider joining the Beauty Brains and Business Network. Again, to join, to sign up is free. Free. Doesn't cost you a thing to sign up. I need you to just check it out. Just check it out. But keep in mind, Facebook did a study, and women who are a part of a community of business, a business community, when women are a part of a business community, they have twice the chance of success than the woman who is trying to do it all by herself. That these women have a greater chance of reaching their goals, of reaching the income that they want to reach, generating the revenue in their businesses that they want to make. They have a better chance of achieving that than the woman who says, I'm an introvert, I don't like people, I don't like doing groups, and I'm going to sit over here in this corner of the universe and I'm just going to pick away at my keyboard, but I'm not going to network with anybody else. Or she's saying, I'm not going to deal with those women. Women are messy. Women are catty. They're going to try and steal my idea. We don't have time for all of that. Because see, over here with the Beauty Brains and Business Network, all of us are about getting our coins. All of us are about getting as much knowledge and skills that we can possibly get. We are about networking and helping each other get to the next level. We don't have time for the negativity, and we don't even tolerate the negativity. But when you come into our space, you feel the energy, you feel the love, you feel the support the minute you step into the space. And trust me, I've been in a couple of business communities for women, and it's not always like that. It really isn't. And so I can understand the fear that some people have or the hesitation that some people have. But because I experienced that, I refuse to allow that to take place in this space. I want this to be a space, and it is a space, where every woman feels welcomed, she feels loved, she feels supported, and she walks away with a wealth of information. She's going to walk away with what she needs to continue to be successful. So again, I hope that if you're not in a business community, you will consider joining the Beauty Brains and Business Network. Enrollment is currently open, and you can join for free. Free. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about your journey and your goals and where you want to be by the end of this year. And how do you think a community of like-minded female entrepreneurs can help you to get to the next level in your business by the end of this year or the beginning of 2020? Well, that wraps up another episode of Beauty, Brains, and Business. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you would consider joining the Beauty, Brains, and Business Network. To learn more about the network, I need you to visit thebeautybrainsandbusiness.com. On the home page, you will see all of the information. You will see a link where you can click it, join for free, see what all of the benefits are. But again, just visit thebeautybrainsandbusiness.com, or you can check out the link in the show notes. But there you'll see, all of the information that you need to get started with the network today. So when you sign up, you can get started the same day that you start. Also, don't forget to support today's show sponsor, Blessed in the Burbs, where it's cool to publicly love God, have faith, and be an inspiration to others without being judged. You can check them out on Instagram, and you can also visit their website, blessedintheburbs.com. Remember to keep sharing your favorite episodes of Beauty, Brains, and Business with your family and friends on social media, and leaving great reviews on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. As always, thank you for listening to Beauty, Brains, and Business, and have a fabulous, fabulous week.